Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Monday Night Raw from September the 30th, 2024. The final 3-hour Monday Night Raw for the remainder of the year. We don't know when Raw goes to Netflix in January of next year. We don't know if they'll stay at 2 hours or if they'll go 3 hours. Hopefully, they'll stay at 2 hours. But we'll have to wait and see. So, I want to do this review a little bit differently. I want to start off with the main event, and then from there, I want to get into the CM Punk Drew McIntyre promo, which was great. That was excellent. And then from there, we'll get into the remainder of the show, like the beginning of the show, in chronological order. So, main event of the evening, Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed. Last man standing match. This thing was fun. Tremendous stuff. This went close to 15 minutes. So, there was one spot in the match that Bronson Reed did a Death Valley driver off the crate through, I think, 1 or 2 tables. That was great. And then there was one spot where Braun got on the top turnbuckle, did a splash, taking out everybody from all the security guards, and Bronson Reed, that was great. Great spot. That must have felt like a damn truck coming at Bronson Reed. Like, that had to hurt for sure. So, the finish was when they did the superplex. That would be Bronson Reed. He did that to Braun Strowman. The ring collapsed. It didn't collapse like it used to do. Like it used to back in the early 2000s. That was with Big Show. That was great. It wasn't like that. So yeah, but it was okay for modern day pro wrestling. So it was fine. So Bronson Reed, he's about to get up. Seth Rollins comes out. He hits a stomp on the steel steps to Bronson Reed. He's unable to get to the count of 10. And Braun Strowman gets up and he wins. So this is great. Seth Rollins being back is needed for sure. Where do you go with him going forward after this mini feud between Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins? Where does that go? But they definitely teased his return on this show. I was thinking he was going to show up at Bad Blood, but that was not the case. So this does make perfect sense to me. I am trying to think, as we get closer to the Netflix deal, who is going to be the one to dethrone Gunther? I do not see Gunther going into Netflix as champion. I don't see TKO making that decision. I don't. I think that they'll probably either want Triple H to go with either like a CM Punk or a Seth Rollins or maybe even a Drew McIntyre. I think one of those 3 guys will be champion as we go into Netflix. I just don't see Gunther walking into Netflix as champion. I just don't. It just doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't. So we'll have to wait and see on that regard as well. All right, moving on from that, because that match was fun. And I am interested in the Seth Rollins Bronson Reed feud. So Bronson Reed, I like him just a little bit. Not a lot. Just a little bit, though. So this leads us into CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. This was a dope segment. I love this. This was tremendous. So they were surrounded in the Hell in a Cell-like structure. Adam Pearce was out there along with security and everything else, and he said that there can be no physical contact whatsoever. So, Drew McIntyre says that he has zero respect for Punk. He's not out here for CM Punk. The reason why he's wearing black tux is because it's out of respect for CM Punk's wife. After Saturday, she'll have to feed and bathe him. She'll probably leave him, which was fucking awesome. I love that. So Drew McIntyre says he's in this tuxedo because he'll be celebrating when he's gone. That means CM Punk. Punk isn't coming back this time. Punk has been back less than a year. He's been injured for 4 months. Now he's gone and now he'll be gone for good. And it's all thanks to Drew McIntyre. The people have watched for 10 months. After all the evidence, they still can't CM Punk. He even mentioned Roxanne Perez, how she used to idolize CM Punk. She changed her mind. Drew McIntyre says that the hatred. Drew McIntyre can see the hatred burning through CM Punk. Once upon a time, he was nothing but a blip on Punk's radar. Punk hates him. McIntyre hates CM Punk. McIntyre used to have no time for hate, but Punk taught him how to do it. Hate is a powerful weapon, but dangerous in the long term. This Saturday, that hate will die with CM Punk. That was great. I love that line. That was excellent right there. Good shit. So, CM Punk gets on the mic. He says that he's got nothing to say to a piece of garbage like Drew McIntyre, except that he's filled with so much rage when he looks at him. CM Punk can't go home. He's been living in a hotel room for the last 4 weeks because he can't subject his wife to the man that McIntyre's turned him into. Drew McIntyre turned him into the fictitious boogeyman that his harshest critics have labeled him. That's who needs to be on Saturday Hell in a Cell to send Drew McIntyre to home to Scotland in a box. That was awesome. CM Punk wants Drew McIntyre to remember and never forget that he prayed for all of this, and it happened. And on Saturday, when he's locked inside Hell in a Cell with CM Punk, and Punk has taken everything from him, he'll be in a panic on his hands and knees. Drew McIntyre will look up, and Punk will wipe the blood from his eyes to see him. Drew McIntyre won't be praying to God or the devil. He'll be praying to CM Punk. That was great. I love that line. And then CM Punk says that he'll see him in hell. This was tremendous. Excellent stuff right here. This has to main event Bad Blood. This has to. I'm sorry. Cody and Roman and Solo and Jacob Fatu, they'll have to do the co-main. But this has to close the show on Saturday. It has to. So, we'll have to see what happens. But that was great. Excellent stuff there. Really, really good stuff for both CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. All right, so we kicked the show off with Jey Uso. He comes out, really good reaction. He comes out with his son in the background. His name was Jace. So Jey Uso puts over puts himself over. He says that this is his first single championship. He'll fight every week for it, and anyone who wants it. So, Jey Uso then thanks the crowd. He says that it was a hard road to get here. His family made it hard for him. Roman Reigns made it hard for him. His whole life, he was just a twin. His whole wrestling career, he was just a twin. They didn't know him, but they know him now. Jey Uso then says that his mother is his biggest fan. Jey Uso said that his mom told him to go out there and show him who he is. She told him to go out there and get it. Jey Uso got it. Jey Uso says, "Mama, we did it." So Braun comes out, Bron Breakker, that is. He says that he's not here to spoil the fun or crash the party. Bron Breakker's out here because of the respect he has for the championship. The lineage of the title that goes back a long way. After battling it out with Jey Uso last week, he has the same respect for him. Bron Breakker told the world a few weeks ago how much that title meant to him. The right superstar should walk out with the title. That night, Jey Uso was the better man. Bron Breakker said he won't spear him or attack him. Bron Breakker wanted to be the first to come out as a competitor and colleague to congratulate him. And then Braun extends his hand. Jey Uso thinks about it, and then they shake hands. And Jey Uso says that there are some dogs in Indiana, and then the crowd barks. So that was cool. So that's fine, I guess. I don't know why they're turning Braun babyface all of a sudden, but it is what it is. I don't really give a damn. But, you know, Braun is going to be dealing with Gunther. That's what it seems like. He's going to be fed to Gunther, probably at Survivor Series. I don't like that. I like Gunther. I like Bron Breakker. But Braun should not be being the one who's fed to Gunther. That's just me in my observation. So, moving on. So, this leads us into our first match of the night. Xavier Woods defeats Rey Mysterio. He accidentally grabs Rey's mask and rips it. He rips it off, and then this allows for Xavier Woods to roll up Rey Mysterio for the 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. It seems like we are going to go through the heel turn of Xavier Woods. Finally. The New Day, they need to split. I would like for Kofi to probably maybe get traded to SmackDown and Xavier Woods can stay on Raw. I know there's been some rumors that Big E might come back. I don't see that happening. I just don't. I think Big E is probably done with wrestling, and I don't blame him. I just don't. I think he's fine, being on the kickoff shows and doing commentary like that. I mean, I think he's fine in that spot. And before he got injured, he was a main event guy, and I just don't see Triple H pushing Big E. I just don't. That's not going to happen. If Vince was still there, absolutely. But Triple H, nope. You got to be black and gold. You got to be black and gold. Moving on. I forgot to mention, so the Judgment Day, they were out riding in the lowrider, and everybody was wondering where Finn Balor was. So Dom calls Finn Balor. Finn Balor said that he was having tribal issues, but the issue that Liv Morgan wanted to take care of, that was already handled. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Moving right along. So Shayna Baszler, no, my bad. Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler, they walk up to Lara Valkyria backstage. Sonya Deville says Lara Valkyria has a big match against Zoe Stark. Ugh. Hawk 2. I can't stand Zoe Stark. Hawk 2. It's a shame that she'll be out there all alone without Natalya and Zelina Vega. Sonya Deville and Shayna Baszler will be out there. Lara Valkyria doesn't have to worry about Shayna Baszler because she doesn't bite unless Sonya Deville tells her to. I am so tired of this shit. I am so tired of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Like, can we at least release Shayna Baszler and send her to AEW? And Zoe Stark, I don't care what you do with her, just get her out the ring. Like, can we do that, please? Sonya Deville is the only good thing of this lame-ass faction. Moving on. So, Kofi Kingston, he catches up with Xavier Woods. He asks if he purposely pulled Rey's mask off. Woods says he would never do that. Xavier Woods says that he respects Rey. Xavier Woods was hoping that Kofi Kingston would congratulate him. Kingston does congratulate him. Kofi Kingston says that, speaking of opportunities, Jey Uso's going to be, he offered him a shot at the Intercontinental Championship next week. Xavier Woods says that he'll be by his side as he climbs to the mountaintop. Kofi Kingston then says to Xavier Woods, He won't be by his side because he told Jey Uso that it should be Xavier Woods. So Xavier Woods, he's happy, and he knows that he can beat Jay. He says, as for tonight, he'll be by Kingston's side against Chad Gable. Kofi Kingston says they'll go 2 for 2 tonight because the New Day rocks. And then Karrion Kross was watching from the background the whole time. All right, okay. Who really cares about this? Moving on. Zoe Stark defeats Lara Valkyria. And then Casey Square they show up. And I believe it is Katana Chance. She's wearing a face mask for whatever reason because she got her nose busted a while back. So, because I thought it looked like Tatum Paxley, but it wasn't. So, yeah. But that was fine, I guess. Do I care? No, I don't give a shit about that. Moving on. So KC Square said that they're gonna get revenge on the Pure Fusion Collective, and then the Unholy Union, which is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they walk up and they say the titles belong to them, and then they start bickering back and forth. Who cares about this shit? Moving right along. So, Kathy Kelly's backstage with Braun Strowman. She asked if he's feeling trepidatious and head into this match. So, Braun says he doesn't even know what that even means. He doesn't know what the word means. So, The Miz walks up and he says last week he had a match with Bronson Reed, but Braun Strowman got interrupted with R-Truth. He walks up. This is his first appearance since Bronson Reed injured him a few weeks ago. Braun says he has a massive match. They started these problems and he'll finish it. So Braun then walks off. Miz asks R-Truth why he didn't tell him. So R-Truth says he doesn't know. R-Truth texted Adam Pearce since he's getting picked on by Karrion Kross. And then they're going to take on AOP. And Miz says authors of pain. R-Truth didn't realize that. He didn't realize that, but he says that the awesome truth is back. And the Miz doesn't look thrilled, so that's fine. Who really cares about that? Moving right along. So Sami Zayn, he's backstage with Kathy Kelly. He says that it hurts to be rejected and that he's not on someone's level. But Sami Zayn knows how good he is. Sami Zayn will not stop until he gets his chance at Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship. Okay. Moving on. So the Judgment Day, which is Dirty Dominant Mysterio, Carlito, and JD McDonough, they defeat the LWO, which is Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del Toro, with the help of Liv Morgan and Finn Balor. Do we care? Fuck no, we don't care. Post-match, so the Judgment Day, they hug each other. Finn Balor, he gets on the mic. He says that he heard what Damian Priest said last week about ripping his heart out. Damian Priest should know he doesn't have a heart, and at Bad Blood, he'll prove to the world that it was Damian Priest who needed the Judgment Day. Damian Priest needed Finn Balor, and the Judgment Day never needed Damian Priest. So Liv Morgan says that she'll prove that she's a home-wrecking, man-stealing, heartbreaking, title-taking, greatest women's champion of all time. Great Ric Flair stuff by Liv. That was pretty okay. So then Rhea Ripley, she comes out. She makes fun of Dom. She says that he's extremely claustrophobic. And he's going to be pissing himself at Bad Blood. He said at Bad Blood. She said at Bad Blood. When he's locked inside of the shark cage, crying and soiling himself. And his new brand new merch. He'll have the best seat in the house to watch his new girlfriend realize she's not as good as Rhea Ripley. And then Dom's going to watch her as she wins back the world championship that she never lost. So Damian Priest ends up attacking the Judgment Day. The Terror Twins get a little bit of an upper hand, but they succumb to the Judgment Day. And Finn Balor does 3 coup de graces to Damian Priest, and Liv Morgan is able to take out Rhea Ripley. I think that it's time for Delta to show up. If Delta doesn't show up at Bad Blood, she'll probably show up at Survivor Series. I just got a feeling that this feud is not over between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. I feel like it's not even over at all, period. So, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Moving right along. So, Sheamus, he's backstage. He's got a video package. He says that the only thing that's worse than getting cracked with a bat is having it done by a man that he used to consider a brother. Sheamus still thinks that Pete Dunne is butch. Pete Dunne has taken it too far, and he's on the wrong side of fight night. Pete Dunne is a dangerous little bastard, and if he wants to play rough, he can do that. So then Sheamus challenges Pete Dunne to one final banger. Sheamus wants a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Sheamus says, what do you say, Butch? And then that was it. Do I care about this? Not really. I wish it was just called a Donnybrook versus just a Donnybrook match. I don't know why it's called that, but do I care? Not really. Not really. But they're making it. They're making next week's episode, kind of watchable. They're doing it because they're desperate for ratings. That's why they're getting their asses kicked by football. So Pete Rose, he passed away. He was 83, so that's sad. So we send our condolences to his family. May he rest in peace. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I know that he did some dirty shit. So yeah, but I am gonna say rest in peace, and we will keep his family in our thoughts, prayers. Moving on. So, Damage Control, they had a video package. So, Io Sky says that they're still the most dominant team in the women's division. She knows that she's in Bianca Belair's hair, and they want to get their tag titles back. Okay. Do I care? No. Because that division only has like 3 teams. So, it's Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, Damage Control, and Bianca Belair, and my bad, and KC Squared. So it's really just like three teams. That's all they have. Yeah. Moving on. So Chad Gable defeats Kofi Kingston. So Kofi Kingston was going to go for the Trouble in Paradise, but Xavier Woods got in the way by accident, and this allowed for Gable to hit the Chaos Theory for the 1, 2, 3. So it seems like Xavier Woods is definitely going to turn heel for sure, but it is what it is. Moving on, Bronson Reed is backstage with Jackie Redmond. Bronson Reed congratulates Seth Rollins in hopes that he comes back. Bronson Reed took months off of Seth Rollins' career. Next time, he'll take years off his life. As for Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed apologizes for exposing him as the man that he is. Bronson Reed will be the last man standing. Well, will be the last monster standing, which doesn't happen. Moving on. So the YS6, they have another video package. So the video says, "We see your intent, anger, festering, and rage. Do not go down this path. It ends in your demise. You know better. Do not force our hand. Heed our adonation." And that was it. Do I care about this? No. Because Triple H has done too much stop and start pushes with the YS6. Like, 1 minute we see them on television for a couple weeks and then they're gone. It's like, actually use these guys. I actually have a thought out plan for these guys. Like, seriously, like, these are guys that we should be seeing basically on a weekly basis. especially with Raw going to 2 hours. So we've got to get some type of consistency going for that show. That means you only have 8 segments. 8 segments, not 12 anymore. You have 8 segments to get over. 8. Moving on. So the closing segment for this review. So Gunther. No, my bad. Before I get into Gunther, so Ilya Dragunov's going to be out for 6 to 9 months. He had a match against Gunther at a live event. It was in Columbus, Ohio. So he's going to be out for 6 to 9 months. That sucks. That really, really does suck for Dragunov. But Dragunov wasn't getting used anyway. So I assume they're running that on house shows because they're probably going to end up doing him and Gunther at Survivor Series. Sadly, that's not going to happen. We don't know when he'll be back. He might miss Mania. He might not. If I was him, I wouldn't push trying to get to Mania. We should see him by Money in the Bank. So, because an ACL is nothing to play with, and you don't want to actually rush that back. You don't want to rush that just to try to do it. Even though we know that he can do it, I still wouldn't, push that. So Gunther comes out. He gets on the mic. He says that life as the World Heavyweight Champion has been fantastic. Gunther loves every aspect. He's the top guy. The luxuries, the money, and the amenities. So the one thing that he hates, that he has to deal with, is Sami Zayn every single week. He says that Sami Zayn is very annoying. So Sami Zayn comes out. Sami Zayn says, Gunther finds it so annoying to put an end to this once and for all. So all Gunther has to do is give him what he keeps asking for. Sami Zayn wants Gunther to put the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. And Sami Zayn knows that Gunther won't do it. Sami Zayn knows why, because he beat Gunther at WrestleMania. So Sami Zayn puts over Gunther, saying that he beat everyone they put in front of him, except for Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn knows that Gunther's scared that it'll happen again. So Gunther says that Sami Zayn is right. He's afraid, but he's not afraid of Sami Zayn. Gunther's afraid of his reputation. He said after all the legendary things he did with the Intercontinental Championship, losing to the better man would have been no problem. But losing to Sami Zayn has been the biggest embarrassment of his career. Gunther was so busy embarrassing Sami Zayn in front of his family that Zayn did it to him. Gunther flew his family in from Vienna all the way to Philadelphia, but he didn't parade them around for sympathy. Once it was all done, he had to go in the back and look his father in the eye. Gunther states what his father said in German. Gunther had to look at his father in the eye and say that Gunther had to look his father in the eye as he told him that he flew from Vienna to Philadelphia to watch him lose to that bum, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's family is used to seeing him fail. But Gunther, he's not used to that. He's the golden goose of his family. He's Gunther. He's special. He's something that Sami Zayn will never be. That's World Heavyweight Champion. And then Sami Zayn says Gunther's right about something. His family watched him lose and get knocked down many times. Sami continues to pick himself up. What did Gunther do after he lost to one of his family? He crumbled. Gunther didn't ask for a rematch. Gunther tucked his tail and hid. He disappeared from WWE TV for months. Gunther didn't show his face because he couldn't. It's all because he made him feel like it's all because he made his father made him feel like a loser. Now Gunther is showing his father that he's a coward. So Gunther is pissed off. He's irate. So he beats the crap out of Sami Zayn. He puts him in a sleeper hold, and then he hits a powerbomb, and he says, "You want your match? You got it." So that's fine. Makes sense. So, R-Truth got turned on by The Miz. My bad. Pause. I don't mean that way. But The Miz turned heel again for like the 2000th time. Which is kind of cool because he needed it. So he just walks out of the tag match. And so R-Truth gets destroyed by the Authors of Pain. And then that was it. So the Final Testament, they stood tall. So that's it. Then the final segment was Gunther. He came out with Libet Kaiser. So then Gunther and Bron Breakker, they crossed paths. Bron Breakker says that he just wanted to see Gunther for himself. Gunther says he's really a badass. Bron Breakker says he'll see sooner than he thinks. So this is cool. So it seems like that's what they're going to do. They're going to do Bron Breakker and Gunther probably at Survivor Series. That should be fine. Again, I don't want Braun to lose, but that's probably how Triple H is going to book him. So Monday Night Raw was pretty okay. The main event was great. The CM Punk stuff was really, really fun. Everything else on the show seems very, very lackluster, and I'm just not really into it. And I think now that Raw is going to be 2 hours for the remainder of the year, this is going to force Triple H to get his head out of his ass and actually do something with these characters. So we'll have to wait and see. But Monday Night Raw was all right. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.